Yeah, hi. We get a lot of questions about Syncplay and what is it. So I'd like to just give you a bit of an example of how it works and how it can be used in retail. So Syncplay in our world is the ability to be able to play synchronized video or media content across multiple panels. Here's an example where we have 4 screens joined together, but this is endless. This could be 50 screens joined together. We can now slice up the content to play across all 4 screens in this example, or slice just 2 screens up at one time, play an individual piece of content on the end. So an example would be one of our customers. If you look at the screens at the top, which are the small narrow ones, here we have at the top there, we've got one piece of content playing across 3 individual screens. And that's, there you go, one piece of content, you can see they're joined. Now they're separated out. And that could be sitting above 3 fridges, for example, where you've got 3 individual products. And then all of a sudden you're going to switch back and play a piece of content across all 3 screens at once. Frame perfect, there you go, you've got it across one piece of content across 3 screens. And of course another feature is really, doesn't it, they all don't have to be the same size. They can be in portrait. For example, like this screen here, which is a high bright window screen. That can be in portrait, but we could play Syncplay across multiple portrait screens. You could play it across a small screen in sync with a large screen. It really doesn't matter how we slice and dice the content. So really, why is this so hard? Well, A, there are no media players, so it's all being done in the cloud, and the content is being played on the device in sync with its own processor, talking to the processor next to it. That's actually really hard. And if we get it wrong, which is, it's hard to do, this is why it's so hard to do, is if you imagine you get 2 pieces of content here, if they're not in sync, you can see the lines playing across these screens. You would soon see if you are not frame perfect. And that's the hard bit. And that's really the secret sauce, is how do we talk the 2 processors to talk to each other and to be able to align each other perfectly over time. So how did this all start? Well, we started doing some signage at sports venues. You know, Wellington Stadium, for example, with the screens on the field, where you started to see a ball running all the way down the length of the stadium. If you looked carefully, it didn't actually run that far down the length of the stadium. It only ran as far as the system could handle. And we wanted to be able to extend it into the next set of screens. And we were approached by a customer and said, listen, how do we do that in store? How do we do that in normal, regular screens? And so this is where we really started to think about Syncplay, and how do we do this frame perfect in a normal retail environment. And that was really how we started the journey from a software development perspective. And I think this is a real world first to get this sort of technology this good, particularly at 4K and soon to be 8K. So really with iMagnet and iMagnet software, it's about giving the marketers the largest canvas we can, make it as flexible as we can to really start to drive attention.